the weather's finally cooling off to the, I mean, it's under 90, which has been rare this summer. We got this flush and fill kit. The car already has, as you can see right here, it's dripping right now, already had an existing T put in the heater line there. So I just picked this up recently, so we have the adapters, and we're gonna go ahead and just back flush this whole thing out while we have our radiator and other cooling system parts on order. Just gonna flush with clear water and hope we get all the crud out of this system. So we got the hose hooked up here. We took the thermostat out so that we can have just pure access through the whole system for the water to flow through. You ready?
Ready to turn on the hose.
Hit it, kid.
Okay.
Whoa, stop, turn back off. Whoa. I don't know why it's doing that. Hang on. All right, now I read the instructions. We're gonna try that again. Go ahead and try that again. I put the backflow thing in backwards there. There we go. Crank it up. Oh, it's leaking out from where the... Oh.
At least we know it's going through the whole system.
Yeah, it's going through the whole engine anyway. We just, I mean, the mosquitoes are out after us now. All right, well, the first time I had the attachment in backwards, and then the second time
You didn't have the gasket.
I left the gasket out, and we actually broke one of the mounting bolts off in there. I'm gonna have to pull it out, but right now I just want the thermostat out of the way while we flush the system out. So hopefully put that paper gasket back in there. It'll be better. All right, go fire it up again, kiddo.
Okay. Mosquitoes.
I know, they're rough. We've hardly had, of course, we've hardly been outside this summer because it's been so miserable out. We'll see if that's any better. Well, it's still leaking there, but not as bad. That's better. This will be fine. Well,
As long as it gets the job done.
yep. Yeah, I say it's leaking a little bit there, but not like it was. At least we're getting good flow through there now.
Turn on the fanboy.
Yeah, see that. Okay, it says now we can actually start the engine, turn the heater on to hot, and run engine at idle speed while flushing for 5 minutes. So,
And turn it up.
we're gonna fire it up. Yeah, can you get it fired up? I got the emergency brake on so it doesn't roll.
Or they put it in neutral too.
Yeah, I think it is. I pushed it out here. Getting good at that, kid.
Yeah.
Practice, man, practice. All right. Gonna let it flush. So it's officially starting now. We flushed out the engine to where it's all clear, clean water coming out. And we've got parts ordered, and most of them have already come in. We're gonna swap out this cooling system and start taking this radiator out.
Come on.
You got it.
Oh, sir.
You got it. Patience. Don't cut yourself.
I know. Trying not to.
You just about got it.
Working on a car is not a good place to cut yourself because you might immediately get a bunch of grease and stuff in your wound.
Been there, done that.
Which is not the best thing for you.
Countless times. There you got it. Ta-da.
Kind of get a scrape there.
All right, kiddo.
Now
Get over on that side.
Now is the process of actually getting this thing out of the car.
Yep. Grab a hold of it. You just try to keep it steady. I'm going to try to pull it up. You all right?
Yeah, a little case there.
Ha ha ha, there it is. It's the old radiator.
Wow.
Look at there.
So much more space.
Yeah. We're gonna take this hood off. We're gonna take this hood off so that we can,
stick my entire head
let's just
down
do a little
in it.
camera.
Look how much space that is.
Yeah. And what we gotta do now is, we're gonna take this fan off, replace the fan clutch behind it, water pump behind it, and this pulley down here.
Needs to be
We're
fixed up.
gonna send it to a place that's gonna remanufacture it like new, as the used ones or new old stock ones are practically unobtainable. So making progress, kid.
Yeah.
That's how we do. You got it? Yeah, there it is.
Here it is.
Ta-da!
Here's the last one of those little screws.
Thank you. All right, the fan's out. Show me the fan. Do-do-do. Ah. All right, here we are. We're going to start working on disassembling all this front gear off the engine.
We're gonna finish this cooling system conundrum.
Yeah, well, getting it unbuttoned anyway. It'll be a little while before we can button it back up. But so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take this hood off of here. Since I've only got one grown person here, I got it tied up here just to help give us some support when it comes loose. So here we go. Like that, kid.
That was easy.
Look. No, I still have this tie right there. There we go. All right. We got that. But off. Yep.
No longer a wall right here.
Right, I know, right? Having this rear opening to the front to backwards is really great in lots of ways. It really does give you a lot of access to your engine, but this is going to be so much nicer without the hood on there doing all this front stuff. So,
Helpful ratchet.
yeah, wraps is
They're
really,
amazing.
yes, big fan.
Right?
That is the thermostat. Well, I took the thermostat out, but that's where
The water pump itself.
the water pump itself is this item right here. And the fan hooks to the front of it, the fan clutch. We're going to replace this guy too.
So I have to take that off and actually get
We're going to take this thing on. We got to take the first thing we're going to do is take this belt off. To do that, we're going to loosen up the alternator here, which this is what makes recharges your battery and provides electricity while you're running. And we're going to just loosen this guy, and then you can just move this and get the belt loose. Take it off. We have a new belt already from when we put it back together. And then we're going to take the water pump and this fan clutch off, and then once we do that, the real deal is this pulley balancer here. This thing's got to come off so we can ship it off to Texas for inspection and hopefully rebuilding.
Yep.
I saw a meme where a guy had a 10mm wrench and he had it tied to his wrist by a little string, so in case you drop it while you're working on something, you can just fish it right back out. Is it loose? A little bit. Let's see if we can.
I scraped a lot of crud off.
Oh, that's enough. Look, it's enough to move the alternator a little bit, and then we can just. Whoop. Well, ideally, give me that little flat screwdriver right there.
Yeah. This is good for prying.
Yeah, go ahead and just pry that right off there. Get it from behind instead of from the front. Yeah. And you can just push it right off the front of there. Ideally.
Ideally.
We say ideally a lot around here.
Yeah.
Look at
Ideally.
Look at this perspective from the front. Well, took a lot of finagling, but we finally got it off. That alternator doesn't want to move any further over than that. That's it. I guess you gotta stretch it like a rubber band. How does that look? Is it cracked? Like,
look too cracked.
it's not too bad considering its age. But you can see how it sat for a long time in the same position without moving. It's like, yeah, it's not so bad. Well, we'll save it just in. We can save that for a backup in case you need an emergency later.
Yeah, put it in the trunk.
It's good to have a spare belt.
Stuck on the highway.
Yeah, spare belt is no joke. In the old days, just like you had to have them because they weren't really made that well long ago.
Some cracks along the edge.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Yeah, perfectly good.
Oh, you're better off on the other side, probably. Well, that's all right.
Get a little more drippage.
Yeah, that's the last bolt holding that whole pump in there, dude. Like I say, it's just dripping clear water though, since we flushed everything out of there real good the other day.
Oh yeah, this is easy to get.
Is it coming?
Easy use power. Here it is. Oh, jeez. That is very long.
You sound like Daddy Pig there. Well, I am quite good at working at motors.
Look how long that is.
Mm-hmm. Like I say, it goes way back in the block there. Let me see it. Boy, this one's cruddy too. All three of the bolts that have come out alongside of the engine, boy, they are just filthy and gross. All right, pull it off, dude. Oh, just like that.
I couldn't stand up for that wrenches me.
All right, let's look at it.
Yeah.
Now these blades here, these are called the impeller. You can see it is rusty. It stinks a little bit.
Yeah. Smells like
The impeller blades,
car.
the impeller blades still look pretty good though, which that's good. Sometimes they get really worn down and chewed up. So, here we are. That's what's behind there. Come here a second. Now turn that. And feel how stiff it is turning that wheel. No, just the wheel on the back. Doesn't that feel kind of stiff?
Yeah.
I feel like that should turn a lot smoother than freer than that. When we get the new one out of the box, we can A/B test them against each other and see which one turns smoother and better. I bet the new one's going to be a lot. It'd be like zzz compared to. Well, you know, this is a gross business we're in out here. Grease is greasy. I was just showing Nash here. We didn't have the camera set up, but to get this front crankshaft pulley bolt loose, we old Scotty Kilmer showed me a trick on the internet. Just put a big old honking breaker bar on there. In this case, I use my torque wrench and just bump the engine with the old remote starter, and whoop,
undoes itself.
Loosened it right up, didn't it?
That's genius.
Can you pull her out of there? Other way. There you go.
I'm getting all my wheels turned around.
That's a big old honking bolt right there. Yep. Oh,
Didn't
you get that washer too.
expect a washer.
All right.
That's a thick washer.
It really is. Almost like it's more of a spacer. All right. Well, we're gonna try to get this puller on there and see what we can do. Well, okay. Well, a friend of ours loaned us a puller for this Harmonic Balancer crankshaft pulley biz here. He didn't have any bolts small enough for these little teeny holes, but I managed to pull the studs and nuts out of our old water pump, and they happen to fit. So hopefully this will get the job done. I guess we'll see here in a minute. All right, let's see how we do here. This is not an endorsement, but here's some penetrating lube. Spray this stubborn thing and let it sit there for a day or two, and come at it and hit it again. See if we can get that thing off of there. It's being a real bear. Now, it couldn't get it off yesterday, pulling from the middle down in here. But some of the forums and stuff said try putting this in, because this is actually on the part that stays behind. And that's what this little divot in the middle, in fact, is for pulling against. So we'll see about that. We went to the hardware store and got some longer hardware, and see what we got here.
Like literally.
Yeah, it's definitely coming, isn't it? Thank God, man. It ain't off yet, though. Let's not celebrate.
Let's celebrate until it's going. Oh, there's like a ring of something coming off there.
Let me take this guy off here, probably. Well, need that blade. Hey.
There's a little ring on there. Oh. Oh. We actually got it.
Oh, it's broken.
Oh no.
Well, that's bad. Well, we got our harmonic balancer off of there finally, and discovered that
it's broken.
It's got a
big old chip.
It's got a chunk of metal missing out of it. And the thing is, I would assume that piece of metal was right. Is that it? There it is.
That is.
Well, that stinks. Well, all right, here we are. Scene of the crime. Right here you can see where the little crankshaft snout there. Looks pretty good. I just bumped the engine over with my remote starter here, and it doesn't look like there's any real damage that I could see on the shaft itself. You can see the oil seal still looks pretty good, honestly, despite how much crud there is around it. I do have a replacement oil seal we intend to put in here when we get this all put back together. Let's look at the thing. So there's side view all around, and then here's the back. Here's the brake. As you can see, it's in the spot where the key would go. Normally, the little woodruff key. In the hole there, I found this, which is like a little metal spring ring, which would have been behind it, I guess. And then the woodruff key came right out, but look at that. That doesn't look good. Chomp. We pulled this off. You've seen it by now in the video. You saw that we pulled this thing off the dampener with the crankshaft pulley, and it is busted. One of the guys on the forum pointed out to me this little rubber band here. That's not supposed to be a separate thing. This is actually a part of the rubber seal that's been chewed off of it. So this thing was not where it was supposed to be for a long time. However, a very nice person who is on the forum, Terrapin Z, thank you, had some spares around the house, and so he was kind enough to make us a very good offer to sell us one of these, Harmonic Balancer, and we're going to take it and send it into a place to have it refurbed before we put it back on the car.
Is this completely new?
This is an old one. It's probably old and just about as cruddy as that one, but not broken. Yeah, so this one's got some scale rest on it. Oh, and this has the third pulley too. So the third one is a bolt-on pulley, so we can take that off since we don't need it. But then in the future, if you like, we want to be able to run AC again someday.
Yeah.
Which our old one had two pulleys, one for air conditioning. This one does two, and this one also has a third one, which is probably for power steering or maybe the smog pump that they did for a while. But these, the one we took off of our 260 is actually apparently a later one from a 280, and this one is as well. See?
So, yeah, pretty much the same, except
Size
this
is the
one
same.
doesn't have a chip in it.
Yeah. So, pretty interesting to see these side by side. Anyway, we're going to send this off. There's 2 or 3 places we've looked at to do it. There's a place in Texas called Godzilla. They're a little on the more expensive side. There's a couple places in California. So we're going to shop around and see who can do it for us the cheapest and best. Wherever on the bell curve we can get and see what we get. So it's going to be probably a couple weeks or so before we do any more videos. Get back to putting this car back together. But until then, here we are.
Okay.
This is a good time for the Ox Studios theme song.
Studios. With